Here is something the IRS just confirmed that most seniors have absolutely no idea about, and it could put real money back in your pocket starting right now. If you turn 65 by the end of 2025, the federal government has officially approved a brand new benefit worth up to $12,000, and the clock is already ticking on when you can claim it. I know what you might be thinking, I've heard promises like this before. But stay with me, because this one is real, it's already written into law, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to get every dollar you deserve. If that sounds like something worth knowing, go ahead and hit that like button right now, subscribe so you never miss an update like this, and drop a comment below telling me, did you already know about this? Let's dive in. Now, before we get into the details, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a couple, let's call them Robert and Margaret. They've been married for 42 years, both retired, both over 65, living on Social Security and a modest pension. Every tax season, they sit at their kitchen table with a stack of papers, a cup of coffee, and that familiar knot of worry in their stomachs. They do everything right. They file on time. They pay what they owe. And yet, year after year, they walk away feeling like the tax system just wasn't built with people like them in mind. Well, Robert and Margaret, and millions of seniors just like them across this country, are about to experience tax season very differently. Because Congress has passed something that changes the game entirely for Americans who are 65 and older. It's called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, yes, that's its actual name, and buried inside this sweeping piece of legislation is something that your accountant, your neighbor, or even your financial advisor may not have told you about yet. It's officially being referred to as the Senior Bonus Deduction, and it is one of the most significant tax benefits introduced for older Americans in recent memory. Here's the simple version of what this means. Starting with the 2025 tax year, which is the return you'll be filing in early 2026, eligible seniors can claim a brand new deduction on their federal tax return. If you are a single filer who is 65 or older, you can deduct $6,000 from your taxable income. And if you are married, and both you and your spouse are 65 or older, that number doubles to a full $12,000 deduction. That is a substantial reduction in how much of your income the federal government can tax, and for many seniors, it could mean paying significantly less, or even receiving a larger refund than you've seen in years. Now, I want to be very clear about something, because the way this has been reported in some corners of the internet has caused a lot of confusion. This is not a stimulus check. It is not a direct cash deposit hitting your bank account. What it is, and this is still incredibly powerful, is a deduction that lowers the amount of your income that is subject to federal income tax. Think of it this way. If you earned $40,000 last year and you qualify for the $6,000 senior bonus deduction, the government now only taxes you on $34,000. That difference in what you owe, or what gets refunded to you, can be very meaningful, especially on a fixed income. And here's where it gets even more interesting for a large number of seniors. You may already know that Social Security benefits can sometimes be subject to federal income tax, depending on your total income. For many lower to middle income seniors, this new deduction could be significant enough to effectively wipe out the federal taxes on their Social Security income altogether. Imagine that, your monthly Social Security check, completely untouched by the IRS. For Robert and Margaret from our earlier story, that could mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars staying in their pocket every single year. Now let's talk about who qualifies, because this is the part you really need to pay attention to. The first and most important requirement is your age. You must have turned 65 by December 31st of 2025. That's the cutoff. If your 65th birthday falls on or before that date, you're in the right age group to claim this benefit. The second thing to understand is the income limits. The full deduction, whether that's $6,000 for a single filer or $12,000 for a married couple, is available to those who fall within specific income thresholds. For single filers, your modified adjusted gross income, which tax professionals call your MAGI, must be $75,000 or below to receive the full deduction. For married couples filing jointly, that threshold is $150,000. Now, if your income is a bit higher than those numbers, don't click away just yet, because the deduction doesn't simply disappear. It gradually phases out as income rises. For single filers, the benefit continues to decrease until income reaches $175,000, at which point it phases out completely. For married couples filing jointly, it phases out fully at $250,000. So even if you're earning above the base threshold, there's a very good chance you still qualify for at least a partial deduction, and every dollar of that reduction matters. One of the things I love most about this particular benefit is how it was designed. Unlike some tax provisions that only reward people who itemize their deductions, meaning those who keep meticulous track of every charitable donation, mortgage interest payment, and medical expense, the senior bonus deduction is available to everyone who qualifies, regardless of whether you itemize or take the standard deduction. That means even if you've always just taken the simple, straightforward route when filing your taxes, you can still claim this. No complicated paperwork. No boxes of receipts. Just a new form. Speaking of which, the way you actually claim this deduction is through a new form called Schedule 1A, which you'll attach to your regular federal tax return. This form was created specifically for the senior bonus deduction, and while it may sound unfamiliar right now, it's designed to be straightforward. That said, given that this is a brand new provision, I would strongly encourage you to work with a tax professional or a trusted tax preparation service when you file for the 2025 tax year. Someone who is up to date on all the changes in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act will make sure you don't accidentally leave money on the table. And that, my friend, is exactly what I don't want to happen to you. Because the truth is, every year, billions of dollars in tax benefits go unclaimed simply because people didn't know they existed, didn't understand the rules, or assumed they didn't qualify. You've worked hard your entire life. You've paid into this system for decades. A benefit like this one exists precisely because lawmakers recognize that seniors on fixed incomes deserve a little breathing room, a little financial relief, especially in an era when the cost of groceries, medications, and utilities keeps climbing. Think about what $6,000 or $12,000 less in taxable income could mean for you practically. Maybe it means a smaller tax bill that finally feels manageable. Maybe it means a refund large enough to cover a repair around the house, a trip to visit the grandchildren, or a few months of prescription costs without stress. Maybe it simply means sleeping a little better at night knowing the IRS isn't taking more than its fair share. As we start to bring things home, I want you to hold on to one thought: this benefit is real, it's confirmed, it's already part of federal law, and you have the power to claim it, but only if you know it exists and take the right steps when filing your return. The 2025 tax year is already underway, which means the time to start preparing is right now, not in January when you're scrambling to gather documents. Talk to your tax preparer. Ask them specifically about the senior bonus deduction under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Mention Schedule 1A. Ask whether your income qualifies for the full amount or a partial deduction. You deserve every penny of this, and in just a moment, I'm going to wrap things up with a few final thoughts that will help make sure you walk away from this video fully informed and completely ready to act.